Casi no trae opción. Supongo que está justa.
El Alex le hizo. Una bestia.
Ah, cabrón. Es que le gruñó el coffee.
Sí, sí, estaba bien apapachado. Que no está muy bien. ¿Verdad?
No, es que se volteó el coffee, lo vio atrás y el Blackie le empezó a gruñir y mejor se fue. Es que el Blackie le gruñó al coffee. Ya debe haber pensado que se le iba a dejar ir.
Where is that bastard? He must be hiding around here somewhere.
Está enojada porque le dije que había traces, pero pues tiene que lavarlo, pues de modo que ahí se queden ahí.
¡Ven, culero! ¡La chingada! ¡Fuera! ¡Se lo quita! Ratoncitos, compadre, ¿dónde van allá?
¿Cómo era? Está cercado.
Déjame, perra, ya, es más, ya ven, para la puerta y ven, para acá levanta las manos. Para.
Ah, pinche puerca.
Mira, ya antes se da,
De la pura cara me repitió, Mayra, Ah, sácate a la verga tú. Ya, así también voy a decir, no les repetí en la cara, No te mamando.
Sí, pues.
Te mamando.
Ya es que
Hello? Anybody home?
Show yourself, hell monkey.
Ya después ya no tenía que tomar.
He should be, Jay. He should be.
Para que le diera.
ahora está pagando la marca güey. Ya es lo que pagó. Pagó mal el güey. Pagó mal.
El chef,
¿No?
el disque chef, ¿verdad? No, más bien como que lo enfadó para que le dejara el negocio a ella.
Pinche cabrón.
Vaya de partido.
Nice rock. Shove it into my face, G. Trust me, it doesn't mean we're engaged or anything.
Might be a tight fit, but okay.
This is it.
Está ahí.
So what exactly did that do?
Blue gems let me transform into new tools of war, new gears of me. In other words,
A new weapon. Magnifico.
you know, I bet all the VIPs are walking around with blue gems.
You know I found Paula in a dumpster, right?
What? You said you met her at the supermarket.
I did. It was the bin out behind the dime a dozen.
And you just picked her up out of the rubbish and brought her home?
Why no?
Sometimes I think I hardly know you. I don't know, but we've got company, as in lots of.
Well, if they pull up a chair, I would be happy to beat them with it.
The man who never had his fill. It was a cold and snowy eve. Certainly no night for a man without a home to be walking these grey and endless streets. Inside the pizza parlor, George Reed spun a lively tune on his harmonica. The local children giggled and pointed excitedly at the harmonica man as their parents glowed with approval. His reward would be all the pizza he could eat, 6 pies at least, and a warm bed in one of these folks' homes. He knew they were good for it. But when he tucked in for the night, George had not had his fill. As the years and calories stacked up, most men would have got older and fatter. Yet for all he consumed, George only got thinner as he washed from town to town. Tapeworm. Tonight he plied his trade with some grannies and orderlies in a nursing home. Hoo-ah! His harmonica filled the room with joy. After devouring 3 helpings of pork chops and mashed potatoes, he eyed the plate of the old woman next to him. Juice dribbled down his chin. "Go ahead, Georgie," she said. "You're such a good boy. You shouldn't have to starve." But George had not had his fill. Early the next morning, he was already on the freeway with his thumb in the air. "Where are you headed?" said the man in the truck. "Nowhere," said George. "Anywhere." It was a new decade, and tonight George played to an all but empty bar in the city. He had lost a lot of weight. Afterwards, the only woman in the joint took the stool next to him and asked him his name. The bartender leaned over the counter. "You don't know this guy, Mary. George is famous, been all over the tri-state area." With a wink, he added, "Man's insatiable." And that night, George proved it as he buried his face in Mary's beaver. "Holy woodland creatures! Attaboy, George! Attaboy, George!" "Play that harmonica," she purred. But even after 5 trips to heaven and back, he had not had his fill. The morning after was an awkward affair as they stared at each other over coffee. One wanted to feel more, the other just wanted to feel. In his final days, George was all skin and bones. I can relate, except for the skin part. His last meal had been a mistake. It was on a sidewalk one night in a small suburban town that he came across the boy. Hungrily, and with an agonized grimace, he opened his mouth to beg for help. Out came a cacophony of wheezes and toots, but the boy understood.
Wait, you mean Jorge ate his harmonica?
Once he was alone, George Reed looked at the candy bar he held in one hand and began to cry. They found George's half-eaten body in a market next town over. In one hand he held a knife, in the other a fork. Chunks of flesh had been torn from his chest and his arms. Blood framed an eerie smile. The wind that morning blew fierce, and as it whistled through the hole he'd carved out of his own neck, the harmonica man played his last song in this world. There were Gawkers, and many knew him. They shared stories of how he'd filled them with hope, filled them with life. They, at least, had had their fill. Especially Mary. The end. Cheeky imp! He doused our goat!
Then let's put out some lights of our own.
Would you kindly bust a cap in those mother fudgers before they douse the lights? We never finished talking about you kidnapping Paula.
I didn't kidnap her.
You hauled her out of a skip. Isn't that illegal in some states? What did she say?
Nothing. Not for weeks. I was afraid to even touch her, you know? Like she didn't belong to me. To anyone.
But something changed.
There was a phone call.
Speaking of phones, put that on hold, G. We've got company.